Today we're going to talk through Chapter 12, Delivering Your Speech. So today we're going to identify, define, and give examples of each of the four major types of delivery. We'll determine the best speaking style for different types of occasions, identify and utilize voice aspects of speaking, recognize and utilize those key ingredients of a well-performed speech, talk about the physical aspects of the performance venue, and then we'll talk about preparation for delivery. So I love this quote by Ralph Marston that says, "Don't lower your expectations to meet your performance. Raise your level of performance to meet your expectations. Expect the best from yourself, and then do what's necessary to really make that a reality." So this chapter really focuses on not the idea of writing, but rather performing. So taking that script and that outline and making it go from the page to the stage. And the best way to do that is to practice and prepare. So let's talk about performance. There are four major methods of delivery. Manuscript is often used by newscasters. That is, we're looking at a prompter or a script word for word. This is necessary when precision is an absolute must. Now, especially in political arenas and with the news, you can't skip a word or change a word because that completely changes the information given to the public. Memorized, this is used by actors and sometimes salespeople. This is used when you're performing or delivering shots, information, and wanting to look really professional. Impromptu speaking, this is a really common format which is often used at special occasions for recipients of an award, or if you're just encouraged to stand up and speak. Typically, it's emotionally charged and has some really unexpected moments. The most common type of delivery is extemporaneous speaking, which is what we use in this class. This is when you are carefully preparing and rehearsing a message as needed. This is delivered using keywords and phrases, so really short note cards in order to convey an idea. Now, extemporaneous speaking, I have a really great presentation called What Not to Put on a Note Card, and really talks you through what a note card should look like to be helpful in an extemporaneous speaking situation. Now, when you're speaking extemporaneously, that means 80 to 90% of the time you are looking directly at your audience. You're not looking at your note cards. And this format is what's recommended and often required in public speaking situations. Extemporaneous speaking allows you to use eye contact and maintain that conversational tone. It also requires a lot of practice and a lot of preparation. So when it comes to the delivery, though, there are different vocal aspects that this chapter touches on. Please make sure you're looking at the chapter for more detailed information, but let me give you the highlights. So your voice or vocal sounds is made when you're controlling the air exhaled from your lungs over your vocal cords. Articulation and diction is determined how well and correctly we form our vowels using our mouths. And that diction is the formality and the precision with which we speak. So it's the difference between saying, "I'm gonna do something" versus "I'm going to do something." Depending on the formality of the situation, depends on how important diction and enunciation is. Now, in different parts of the world and even our own country, there are different accents or a degree of prominence of the way we speak certain syllables. Now, regionalism is word choice, which deals with, if we go to Wisconsin, let's say, a water fountain can sometimes be called a bubbler. Also, that idea of the conversation between, is it soda, is it pop, is it Coke? What do we call soda? Then the dialect is a regional way of speaking. It's a coded language that is often associated with a common group and a common location. Now, other vocal aspects of delivery involve vocal quality. This is the timbre or the distinct sound and texture of your voice. Pitch and tone make up your vocal quality. Pitch is the highness or lowness of your voice, and the tone is the overall vocal sound. Having strong vocal quality is very important, especially when speaking on the phone or working remotely. So let's take a second to think about this. How does raising your voice to ask a question impact our understanding? As a society, we are so used to certain inflections to mean or to add weight to a certain idea. Now, here's a word of caution. Inflection and varied pitch must be organic or natural. If we use too much inflection, we can actually shut down, or our audience might start to tune us out. So thinking about pitch often gives us a lot of energy and can impact the overall meeting, but don't use too much pitch or unnatural pitch. I really like this quote too by Richard Strauss that says, "The human voice is the most beautiful instrument of all, but it is the most difficult to play." As you can see from just these short definitions, there's so much that goes into our ideas of vocal quality and sound. So here's some other vocal aspects of delivery. Our rate of speaking or tempo impacts our audience's ability to process our information. I tend to speak quickly, but in a video situation, you can always pause and control the rate at which you're listening to my voice, whether it's slowing it down or going 2 times speed. Pauses versus vocal inflection. Pauses are used intentionally to add emphasis to an idea. Vocalized pauses, though, or fillers, should be avoided. And those vocalized pauses or fillers that I'm referring to are the ums, uhs, likes, you knows, those phrases that we incorporate unintentionally into our conversation. Now, vocal projection. This is supporting the voice volume with breathing and energy. Vocal projection is the one thing that is very easily taught, even if it's not your strong suit. Providing energy, using good breath support can really help you to improve your vocal projection. So looking here, the chapter also talks about in much greater detail nonverbal aspects of delivery. So your appearance, movement and gestures, body language, facial expression, and eye contact are all important aspects of nonverbal delivery. Dressing for success, dressing for the occasion is really important. I love this GIF here because you can see just how formal they are. You can also see their relationship and how their friendship and connection with each other. So that movement, the gesture, that feeling of connectedness through the high five is really powerful. Body language or proximity is really also can say a lot about a relationship. Expression, something that I miss sometimes if you're wearing a mask, but facial expression is so universal and can be so powerful to set a tone of a speaking situation. Then there's eye contact. Again, 80 to 90% of our delivery should involve direct eye contact. The other thing that your chapter talks about is mastering the location. So looking at the room, the size. Is there a podium? What equipment do you have? Are you using a microphone? And is water involved? Is all really powerful. Filling your voice in the room, whether it's a small room or a large room, can impact your delivery style. Podiums and equipment can be a big support. They can also be a big hindrance. For example, when there's a podium, sometimes people get nervous and they tend to lean into the podium, which causes a lot of unnecessary noise and can actually negatively impact your delivery. Using a mic is also really important, and practicing with that, if that is something that is available, is key. And then finally, water. Having water can really help, especially if you've got a long speaking engagement. Avoid using ice, though, because ice can get lodged in your throat. Ice can make a lot of noise and can be a big distraction. So now we're going to talk practice, preparation, and delivery. Crafting those note cards, and I love this picture because you see that there's minimal notes on this note card and it's being used effectively. Rehearsing that speech, you can see this person is delivering a speech for another audience member. All those practice and preparation is really a great way to manage stress. Also, reframing your mindset so you know that the audience only wants you to succeed and that you can survive and get through anything is really key. And then delivering that speech, making sure that you're using good eye contact, that you are using intentional nonverbal so that you practice a ton is going to lead to success in your delivery. So thanks for listening to Chapter 12, and I cannot wait to see you next week.